The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on. It's about that time of day, let all the warriors come out and play. You tuned in to PB Smiley and Wayne Holloway. And me, my name's Santos, the Human Torch, and it's the hottest show around. It's called Blow the Whistle Sports, and today's the day. We talking sports and we came to play. Got no filter, we say what they all afraid to say. As last time we checked, football was a man's sport, so we don't let nothing fly like you ain't got a passport. We lot of fans, we attached to y'all. We talk about everything in the catalog, from football to basketball. We never had a loss. My team's so official, got stripes like the ref. That's why they call us Blow the Whistle. Big packet on go like a loaded pistol. If you got a problem with us, let us know the issue. We giving y'all the realest talk on live. Tap in with us, btwsport.com. Johnny.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. And allow me to introduce, we have a new face on the panel. 2020 fantasy football champion and second place winner in some of our leagues. Latham Mahalia, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing, man? You all right?
I'm good. And our usual suspect, PB,
what's
comedian, writer.
Word.
Hey, man, it's that 2020. Happy New Year to all you guys, and me, Wayne Holloway.
They can hear us, right?
Yeah, they can hear us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, your headphones not coming in clear?
Nope.
He like, my mic sound nice. Check one.
What's up with it?
Oh, man.
Okay.
We got to get into this news.
Yeah, they have some,
Yeah. First off, in the news, we got some deaths that we have to address.
Yeah. Sam White, coach for the Bengals and Tampa Bay. He was coach for Cincinnati in the '88 Super Bowl against Frisco.
Right.
And he was responsible for the no huddle offense. Man. The league had to try to change that as they grew. He was famous for when they was throwing snowballs. Remember that?
Wasn't he coaching when Icky Woods was playing?
Yep, that's Sam White.
Icky Shuffle.
Yeah, yep, Icky Shuffle. And 74 years old, man. So shout out to his family. Rest in peace. I mean, how did it's like January 1st, January 2nd?
I know. It seems like, when the new year ushers in, we get all the
some sort of news on a loss.
Exactly. Whose life alert is going off?
I hope that ain't another death, is it?
Nah. See, like I said, my phone be making weird sounds, even though
even
when it's off.
We gotta cut those off. Your phone want to be heard, but
yeah.
And the other death, in NBA, basketball.
Yes, Stern. I was about to say Howard Stern.
Yeah.
David Stern.
David Stern, man. That's wow.
That hits a lot of people. I never knew the person.
Right.
Never met the person, but seeing them all the time is just like, wow. It's like a member of your family just passed away. It's strange. This media and this and TV is way out.
Yeah, he was a beloved commissioner, man. A lot of the players, they really liked him.
Yeah. When you think of him, you think of Jordan. He came when Jordan came. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jordan retired. He's the one. We had to go through him to find out if Mike gonna come back. Yeah. So shout out to the Stern family. Wow.
Man, prayers go out to you guys. It's hard dealing with a death, but one that just sneaks up on you is
right on the new year.
Wow. He got to see 2020 though.
Yeah. For one day.
Man.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Now, Antonio Brown. I spoke up for this man. I had his back for the longest.
What do now, man?
He just can't get right.
He can't get out of his own way. Huh?
He just can't get right. I mean, I understand all his terms, his problems that he had in Philly.
Right.
I'm not Philly. Pittsburgh,
yeah.
And then moving to the Raiders. I understand the way he was feeling, but mental illness is real.
Yeah, the way he went about, the whole thing. I mean, if he would have just been quiet, I believe for like a couple of days,
right,
he would have got guaranteed money, right? Like some millions. I don't know the exact details, but I was
it was guaranteed.
If he would have been quiet, period.
Well, yeah,
it was guaranteed.
Yeah.
But
he cost himself a lot of money.
I understand speaking up for yourself when somebody talks out of turn about you,
right,
or talks about your character. But this man just he just talks out how they say, out of your butt all the time.
So what happened with the Saints? I was hearing rumblings or something that he was supposed to try and sign with the Saints or something like that.
The Saints want him. The Saints loved his workout. But he said it was a publicity stunt.
He said it was a publicity stunt. He just did. He turned around and just did.
What's that?
I guess he don't want to play. Maybe he don't want to play. Or maybe, remember, was it last year, 2 years ago, he was dangling a baby out the window? No, he threw a woman out the window, right?
That's Michael Jackson.
That was Michael Jackson.
Well, he threw one out the window. Mike dangled one.
I heard something about that.
He threw a lady out the window, man. I think, remember they say Mike Tyson was trying to get out of the fight with Evander Holyfield?
Yeah.
Maybe, and they both cancers. Michael cancer, Antonio Brown cancer. Maybe he's trying to get out. He's trying to find his way out. If I keep doing this, they won't let me back in.
Are you trying to say something about cancer? I'm a cancer.
No, I'm just saying cancer. Both of them cancer.
He's doing a good job, though.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
One of our elite, arguably the elite, in as a wide receiver, is going to get put out the NFL for nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense.
But you know what? There's always going to be one team out there. We can fix him. He can work for us.
The players in Pittsburgh said that Tomlin had the keys to the car. That he knew how to massage that egotistic person and how to keep his vulnerability on the ride, where it didn't rear his head. Where we didn't know, it might have been some ender rumblings in the building. But
if you can't work in Oakland, you can't work.
Yeah, because normally Oakland's the last stop.
That's the last stop.
For most players,
Oakland,
that's the last stop before you out the league.
Yeah, that's it.
And really, if you go to New England, that's really the second to the last stop.
Right.
So like, if Belichick can't do nothing with you, then nobody can. It's a wrap.
And he's still healthy, young.
Man, the Saints were overly impressed with this man's workout.
I don't think they need him, but it would have been extra firepower.
Oh man,
I believe you exactly what you said. What do you feel on it?
Man, I think they would have been guaranteed Super Bowl if they had Antonio Brown. That's too much. I mean, you got Michael Thomas and Antonio Brown. That's not even fair, man.
No, you're right.
I was saying the same thing, but last week when we were on the air, I said the same thing.
Right.
But as I thought about it, I believe, like you said, too much. They have Thompson. They have Cook.
Their chemistry right now is
above the level.
Yeah.
I think adding Antonio Brown was like
just more points.
Yeah.
We're gonna win, but now we're gonna win by 30.
I mean, even the year that my Eagles won, if the Saints wouldn't have got, what happened to them, if they would have, I'm not even gonna lie, we would have had a hard time even in Philly with the Saints because they was a good team. They had all their players. They pretty much got the same team that they had then that they got now, except for they don't have they let what's his name Ingram go to Baltimore, but
Murray's. I told you he was going to be.
He stepped in and did.
He's straight, but it's not the same. It's not the same running game. Yeah, he's straight. It's not the same running game.
But they got him for this. Yeah. Ingram was good all the way to get you where you at. They got this dude for the playoffs. That's why they play the game.
Yeah, and Breeze is on his way out, man. He want to go out with a chip, man. Yeah, because he ain't gonna be around too much longer. He only gonna be around. It's a bunch of quarterbacks in the NFL right now that's gonna be on their way out.
I give Breeze 1-2 years.
I think that's it. I think he go out and just.
You think this year's?
Yeah, I think he go out with all the records and that's it.
If he get a Super Bowl, I believe it's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right.
Because he'll have all the records. Tom will still be left to see if he can break them, but Tom got to get through this week if they don't break him off. Because I don't know about Tom.
It's gonna be a tough road for Tom this year, man. They never had to go through the Super Bowl go to the Super Bowl like this.
They ain't going.
They happening this year.
See, I can't say that. It's gonna be a tough road, but Belichick, being the man he is.
Well, we'll talk about it. Get that fantasy because I'm going to really make you mad when I bring up.
Well, before we get into fantasy, the Browns they fired another head coach. What do you feel about
another one
that?
bites the dust, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we knew that like week 10. Like, dude, they gonna make it.
Yeah, we already knew that.
After the helmet came off. We already knew. When they was fighting with the helmets, we already knew. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, man. Most of the commentators were saying that he doesn't have control over the team when he, that had nothing to do with him.
Right.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with him.
But the way he responded the next week, we didn't start it. He laughing.
Yeah. And you seen Odell talking him down on the sideline, man. I was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah,
it's a wrap, man.
Your ex.
Oh, Ron Rivera is now the Washington Redskins.
He better call us.
Hey, Steve, where you at? You got you guys a new head coach, Ron Rivera. Have fun with that, sir.
Ooh.
Have fun with that. Don't get me wrong.
Somebody's got.
Ron's gonna get over there. They're gonna get a good chemistry going over there.
All right.
And that's not the problem. Ron is a perfect person to put a team together, get the right personnel around there. Decision making.
There he is. I think that's him.
Oh, we have a caller. How you doing? Welcome to Blow the Whistle.
Hi, thank you. This is Steve from Granada Hills. Your favorite Redskins fan.
Hey, how you like your new head coach out there, sir?
Riverboat Ron Rivera.
Right.
The gambler.
You know something? As much as I badmouth Ron Rivera with the Carolina,
you got to keep badmouthing him. Oh,
I'm going to tell you why. With the Redskins, we don't have any championship aspirations. We just got to make the playoffs.
Wait a minute, sir.
Okay.
You don't have any championship aspirations. You just want to make the playoffs.
I mean, for right
we just need to make the playoffs at this point.
Okay.
And Ron Rivera can give you to the playoffs.
First year?
And then you feel like you'll build from that.
Oh, next year.
Okay.
I mean, we can take the Eagles. The Eagles are flawed, and I know I see you in the studio. The Eagles
would say they've got an Eagle fan up here.
Well, what do you think they're going to do with
I
Haskins?
see the Eagle fan in the studio. The Eagles are flawed. We can take them next year.
What do you think Ron will do with Haskins?
But Haskins is the best quarterback in that division.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Take it easy, man.
Right
Come
now,
on, brother. Let's be realistic now.
Potential in that division.
So now you're not a Browns fan anymore. You moved back to Redskins, right? Because he had denounced his team.
The Browns are a mess. Freddie Kitchens had to go. He was the worst coach in the history of the NFL.
Hey, well, you got your wish.
But I just want to get your understanding about Haskins. Seriously.
He's the best quarterback in that division.
I don't even think he's better than Daniel Jones for the Giants.
Exactly.
Jones just threw 5 touchdowns not too long ago.
Are you talking about his potential?
His potential.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because Wentz is clearly the best quarterback in that division.
Well, Wentz is flawed. It's something about Wentz. I don't know.
But he's been playing decent the last few weeks. I mean, he does fumble a lot. I admit that. Right. But the last 4 weeks, so he's been money. He's been playing with practice squad players. He's been playing decent.
What I say about Wentz is his problems have lied with personnel. He hasn't been able to play with the same team all year long. They keep changing. Wide receiver go down. The one he's depending on. All right, so he moves to the next wide receiver. He goes down. Then you have neither wide receiver. Yeah. Then he's working with two tight ends. Then the tight end goes down. Then he got to work with the backup. And then, like I was telling them, but we'll get more into that when we talk about the games coming up. But
I do agree that Washington will be better. I agree with that.
Oh, they'll be better. Yeah. Definitely better.
All I want you to do is get used to the when a mistake is made on the field, that look with the glasses like. That's Ron. That's that look he's gonna give you. Like, what did I just do?
Hey, didn't Ron pick up? He already started with his personnel. He got Del Rio.
Yeah,
defense coordinator.
Yeah, he's probably gonna steal some players from the Panthers too.
They're already talking about that. They're already sitting on trying to get your cornerback, Bradbury, whatever his name is.
Hey, he can have him. Tell him to take the general manager with him too. Tell him he can have. Y'all can have Kyle too. That our backup quarterback. Y'all can have him too.
He's a solid backup though. He's straight.
Is Cam still going to the WWE?
Josh Norman.
Did I say that?
As long as we cut Josh Norman, his locker has already should have been cleared out. I'm still disgusted you guys gave us him.
Hey, we'll take him back.
Mr. Dancing with the Stars. he went Hollywood. Has been the same thing.
Hey, we will take Josh Norman back off your hands, sir. If that's too many problems for you. too many problems for you because Josh Norman's nice.
Well, speaking
He'll
of
go
that,
good with Bradbury that we're going to franchise tag this year.
what happens soon? Okay.
We'll give you Josh Norman his contract with a draft pick to get him off our hands.
Oh wow.
Hey.
No, Josh still straight. But since we in the NFC East, does Dallas or when does Dallas fire Garrett?
He's fired. What?
No.
No, he's fired yet.
So that's all been resolved.
His contract's up in 2 weeks.
I heard they got rid of the staff, but I haven't got rid of him.
So what
No, they
happens?
haven't got rid of him yet. No, they're still trying to decide.
So what happens?
There's a love affair going on over there in Dallas between that coach and the owner.
Do they finally get rid of him?
Maybe he has pictures or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he got. I would not be surprised.
Right?
You fire me,
the way
I'm
you
telling.
act, knowing your job on the line, you don't be
Right.
mad. You don't be looking.
Yeah.
You just clap. That's all.
Yeah.
He say
He like
clapping.
Takeshi 6'9" is his homeboy. He's like, I'm telling. Fire me and I'm telling.
So I'm letting the cat out the bag.
Yeah.
Well, y'all next year the NFC East is up for grabs.
I got something for you.
The NFC
To
East
the AFC.
Yeah, next year
up for grabs.
it's up for grabs. I mean, there's no one team in the NFC East next year that looks dominant over any other team.
I agree.
For the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
what's.
so it all depends on who gets who stays healthy. So I like our chances as good as anybody else.
Did he say AFC East? Oh, he said NFC
The
East.
NFC East.
NFC East. Well, it's always going to be a battle in NFC East every year, but
Yeah,
I think
so, I mean,
Dallas and the Eagles are going to be fighting for it every year. It's always
They're
going
going
to
to
be
be
like
fighting
that.
each other. So
He said NFC, not AFC?
NFC.
No.
NFC, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants.
With
Any one of those teams can win it next year.
I think a healthy Philly will run the division next season. A healthy Philly.
I just got to see who Dallas get as they coach.
But with the Giants' acquisition of their quarterback starting, Eli going someplace else to probably start, up for grabs. That's kind of hard to say. I still say Philly holds a strong reign on it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's about quarterbacking and
But
coaching.
remember, though, the Eagles, fully healthy last year, only lost to the Skins the first game because what's his name was the worst coach in the league, Gruden.
Ooh.
They were dominating him in the first half.
Yeah.
If they would have let Peterson play, they would have won that game. I mean, what coach is going to tell Adrian Peterson in the first game, nah, we're going to make you inactive. We don't need you today. We need an extra guy on special teams.
Right.
An idiot. That is
If we
true.
had any kind of running game, the score was, 21-7 at halftime.
I don't think.
Yeah.
What week was that?
The Redskins have a nice team. Their problem's always been their coaching staff.
Yeah, they got some good pieces around.
Kirk Cousins.
But I know I'm just not throwing Carson Wentz yet. I got to see Carson Wentz do it in a big game for me to think he's the man.
I think he's proved it all. I think he's checked a lot of boxes already. I mean, before he got hurt.
No, you got to check it this weekend.
Oh
gotta
yeah.
see this
Well, no,
weekend.
he don't. Have,
He
he
gotta come out
haven't.
this
He haven't,
weekend
he haven't got a
if he
playoff
work.
win yet. That's true because he was hurt.
He can't check it this weekend with the personnel he has. Well, we're going to get more into that when we get into the games. We about to,
Okay, all right,
thank you for calling.
I'm
We
gonna let you guys
about to
go,
get
man.
into this fantasy football.
Call next week, bro.
I'm going to let you guys go, but thank you guys for taking my call.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year.
All right.
Have fun with Ron.
Go Skins. Hell to the Redskins. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Oh yeah. Thanks for calling in. Now,
That'd be interesting to look at. Seriously.
yeah.
I mean, you went to go get Del Rio.
Well, that division always has been an interesting division. They used to be the strongest division in the NFC.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day, if you give them like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But hey, now it's 9-7 made the play.
Almost 8-8.
Hey.
Almost 8-8.
Hey, the year the Giants won, what year was that? They was 9-7. It wasn't when the last time Giants.
The second time they won.
It was 9-7. Wasn't it?
against the Giant, against New England, the second time.
The undefeated New England, and they won the Super Bowl.
That was 10-6. He talking about that second one when they beat him. They beat him again. Eli beat him again.
The Giants have always had like the kryptonite to New England.
Yep.
I don't care what team they have when they play New England. You see how Miami does New England.
Here go the funny thing.
Uh-oh.
What if, see what you just said? Now, what if Belichick, that's his next place, the Giants?
Man.
I don't think Belichick will go to another team. I think he will retire.
I'm just saying, man.
How come anything that comes up with New England, it's always swept under the rug. Wasn't they caught cheating
twice?
This year? Yeah, and nobody says anything about it. But when the Saints got caught, they hit them with the book.
Huh? Like how many games they get in? Sean got like 6 games. So yeah, he couldn't be on the sideline. He had to call in plays at home.
Hey,
yep,
I thought
New England could do anything.
No.
They can do anything.
The Saints got caught for hurting people.
No, it was the bounty, right? They put a bounty out on people.
Right.
They were putting bounty.
But that's still cheating. That's still considered cheating because it's illegal.
They were trying to put people into hospital. I don't think you would want to put that in the same equation. They were trying to end careers. Well, they were getting bonuses like if you break his leg, we're going to give you an extra $40,000.
Oh, I'm with you, but
dude's coming out there like LT.
Yeah. That's why I
just ready to roll.
I didn't feel sorry for the Saints when the bad call happened. I felt bad for the game of football with the bad call. The Saints had, they got their skeletons in their closet too.
Right.
Hey, we can't even get on that.
I think because of what happened to the Saints last year with Minnesota, I think they're gonna have
the year before last.
Yeah, the year before last. I think they're gonna have. I think if we don't make it, they'll have a run to the Super Bowl, and the rest might give them some love. You never know for for the mistake they made that year.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
That game is 49 points total, and the average person assumes Minnesota can score, they're healthy, and Saints can score. I don't even think it's going over. Most people think it'll go over. I smell blowout.
I smell a blowout, man. Because you guys know how Kirk is in big games, man. He don't show up, man.
Hey,
and he's gonna be in that dome. It's gonna be right. It's gonna be. I think
that's the second loudest. Other than the 12th man, that's the second.
The only thing they got good going for them that Dalvin Cook is gonna be back healthy,
right?
And they're different. They look like a different team when Cook is healthy.
Oh, they'll be able to run the ball. I wouldn't be surprised he get 90 yards. He could get 130, 40, but he won't because they'll be down 20 points, so there's no way they'll be giving him the ball.
They'll be too far behind for him to be running the ball. He'll look good that first quarter and a little bit in the second quarter, but in the second half we will not see him. He will become invalid. Now let's move to fantasy football. Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Get Money, champion of the Get Money League.
Hey, help me before you leave. Help me with this weekend.
Okay.
Hey, well, that's a different type of FanDuel and those types.
Well,
he's
still.
and FanDuel.
I'm pretty sure he's still good on that though.
I play those every now and then.
He's decent on that, but it's been a while since he's emerged to the championship ranks in a season-long fantasy football.
Yeah, I've been playing for a while too, man. I've been playing fantasy football for a long time.
Wow.
And speaking of, next season we will have a lot more leagues to offer. And what I want to tell people, because, in fantasy football, the problems that we have are when it comes time to payment. And not the people paying it, but there are certain aspects that we will go introduce to you guys next season. We got a new website that you go and put your money on. We've been using one for the last 3-4 seasons, and they've changed every season, and we're just not going to use them anymore. We're not going to blast them out online.
Right.
We're not going to tell you about which ones we're not going to use. Right. We'll just give you the name to the one we will use next season. Right. And because it's easier for your commissioner in any league to press a button and send the money to a person.
Right.
But when people don't pay, and some people pay, then if you don't pay, you don't have an account. I can't send you the money when you win. That means I have to transfer the money offline, and then it just takes time. And I don't want to do all that. Right. I know any commissioner doesn't want to do all that, but that's just the skeletons or the bad taste in your mouth about fantasy football. But playing it, man, we love to play the game, man. We can't wait. Everybody starts calling me 3 months before fantasy football. Everybody's all giddy, talking about who they going to pick. What's your first pick? Everybody asking each other, who will be your first pick? Who will be your first pick? Nobody wants to tell. Yeah. But
I was surprised, man, that Lamar Jackson was just like on the board, because I saw this happening, him doing what he's doing this year in fantasy football. Before at the end of last year, I was like, oh, this dude's going to be a beast. If they
picked him.
I picked him in almost every league except for one when I was waiting too late. But I got Lamar Jackson in almost every league, but I got him late.
So you were surprised, like, what is he doing here? What is he? He's still on the board?
Nobody expected him to look like he's looking.
I did. I saw it.
So you killing just him alone was really.
I could have won every single league, but I messed up on some of my running back picks. So that kind of that's why I didn't go to the playoffs in every single league. But I could have.
Lamar Jackson single-handedly in one of my leagues, I had this guy beat by so many points. He had Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson put up 49 points by himself. Now the average, we got PB to play this year.
Oh yeah,
I ain't know how to play.
He's kind of new to it. It takes a while.
He still ain't paid me.
I don't even know nothing about it, man.
Look.
For real, I don't know. What is it to pay? What is it, $20? What is it?
No, man. We'll talk about that off the air. That's irrelevant. He's like, what is it?
I stopped after the first.
Yeah, it's something that you got
preseason game.
Yeah, you got to monitor it every week, man. It's something that you got. It's like kind of like a little science to it.
You know, I strayed off of it for a while, and I lost 3 Super Bowls because of it. I didn't wake up in enough time to make one change, so I had a personal IR plan or a person that just got put out in that game. Yeah. But
who was your quarterback?
In most of my leagues, Tom Brady was my quarterback. A lot of people don't like him, but he gives me just enough points throughout the season, and I do just fine. Most people like having power quarterbacks like Mahomes. And Jackson, like I said, he didn't pick him up till like 7th round.
Yeah, real late.
Nobody was.
It was that late?
Yeah, nobody was expecting him to go.
Expecting to do.
What's wrong with y'all, man? Y'all
I was like,
Jackson?
I was like, this dude's gonna be the next Michael Vick or even better. Because I mean, with fantasy football, you get points.
You thought that for real?
Yeah, I did. Because I was like, man, I heard that they was gonna create an offense just for him, and a lot of teams don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They want to transform a quarterback, make him into a traditional pocket passer. But they, from the beginning, it was like, we gonna make an offense tailored to you, and that's exactly what they did. So I was like, this dude's gonna be able to run, pass. I was like, oh, he's gonna get money in the playoffs. So in fantasy football.
Did you ever consider Lamar or
no? Not at all.
So I won't. And see the thing about next year, I probably won't even be able to get him in some of my leagues. Depends on what pick I get because everybody gonna be checking for him.
See, the thing about next year will be officially his second year. Officially,
right.
Even though this year's his second year, but he didn't play the whole season of the first year. This will be his second year, and they normally don't do good the second year because the teams have tape on you. They know your tendencies.
Patrick is the only one to prove that he did well.
Well,
without the injury,
drop back passer. That's the difference. Drop back passer. This man runs the ball. Yeah. They gonna hold him in that pocket a little better next season.
Yeah, I think the future of the NFL though, quarterbacks are gonna have to be able to at least, even if you're not a runner, you're gonna have to be able to at least be able to move around in the pocket.
Okay.
At least be somewhat mobile because.
Shout out to the original of the greatest, in my opinion, Randall Cunningham.
Oh man, that's the reason why I became an Eagles fan. I was watching him back in the days. I was like, man, I like that team. That's my squad, man. That was back in '91, man.
God, Randall was. Oh man, shout out to Randall.
Oh yeah, Randall was a monster, man.
Man, have you talked to your second place person, Julian? Raiders of Mayhem is his name.
Yeah. We was chatting back and forth. He was like, well, how you do my team like that, man? Because I had Lamar Jackson, and he put up a good fight though. But man, Lamar, he put up his numbers were so good that I think that was a Thursday night. Was that a Thursday night game?
Yep, against the Jets.
Man, he did so well, man. I was like, man, I was right into the Super Bowl, man. I was good.
Yeah.
So you have more than just this one. You another fan.
Yeah, I had. Well, this year I only did. I think I did.
He's
5
at 4 of
teams.
mine.
And I did one of somebody. I did one with.
So I have like 4 or 5 leagues. Well, 4 leagues. And he was in all my leagues.
Just killing.
Well, pretty much.
He came in second place in another league.
In another league, I came in second place. I came in first place in another one.
But in fantasy football, people talk. We're all friends.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to make him a deal, so he wouldn't.
He was lying about.
So he wouldn't lose all his money. Chad, we call him Black. Shout out to you. He was supposed to be on the show today, but
what he was like?
He couldn't make it because he thought we were going to go on in the morning, but we went on in the afternoon. Shout out to him. He won. He ended up winning. He came in first place, and he said that he gave him a chance so they could split the money. And he said, nah. And so he said he had to do it the way he did it because he didn't want to split the money.
He beat me, he didn't beat me by that much, but he did beat me. I ain't gonna lie.
Did he give you a chance to split the money?
He mentioned it. We was on Messenger talking about it. He mentioned it, but
did you shut him down?
I didn't shut him down. We was just like, we're just gonna let it play out.
I see you stuttering. Did you shut him down and say you didn't want to split the money?
Yeah, I said I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
he didn't want to bring it up. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't going to lie. I said
so now you're taking second place money in that.
I'll take it, man.
Hey, it is what it is, but fantasy football is what we love, man.
Now, who was his quarterback?
Who did I have? I think I had...
No, I'm talking about the other guy, Chad.
he had Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, Mahomes. So that would be second best then, right?
Yeah.
Not throughout the whole. Okay.
Yeah, I had Jackson, but his running backs. His running backs killed it though. He was really hitting the waiver wire really good because at the end of the year he had Drake. He put he had Kenyon Drake. He put up big numbers, man.
And that's
against
my fault.
Seattle. Seattle was making him look like Walter Payton or somebody, man.
When they traded
that's my
him,
fault. I dropped Drake and he picked him up in that league. I dropped him.
Man, so you're the reason why I lost, probably. He picked him up.
When I had him, when he was playing for Miami, they wasn't doing nothing with him. He wasn't doing the same thing he was doing when he.
But last year he did pretty well.
But this year, I had him first 4 or 5 games. Yeah. He wasn't doing nothing.
They traded him there.
I had to get somebody else in there and get rid of him. And when I got rid of him, like 2 weeks later, he got picked up by Arizona and became Barry Sanders. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, that's the thing about fantasy football sometimes. Sometimes you got to be patient because you'll have a player that he'll have a couple bad weeks, and if you don't stick with him, you'll drop him. And then next thing you know, he just starts balling. He just have a stretch of like 3 weeks or so. You're like, man, he balling. I wish I would have got rid of him.
Name another player that did similar to Drake that you can recall off your mind. Like they didn't do
well,
that.
I picked I always pick up Derrick Henry no matter what.
Okay.
So in the beginning, he kind of killed me in the beginning of the season.
Slow start.
And then at the end of the season, and I know he does this, at the end of the year, he gets strong. But I thought he can start off strong at least this year, but he was killing me in the beginning of the season,
last 7 games with 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
My goodness.
He was killing it, man.
Hey, we got to give a mention to the man, the myth, the legend, the best running back out there. 1,000 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah. Mr.
Christian McCaffrey.
Man, I didn't see that one coming. Man, I passed on him. I actually picked, I think in 2 leagues, I picked Kamara ahead, and I had a chance to pick McCaffrey. And Kamara let me down because he was out for a lot of games.
Because he was the workhorse. That's what I was telling you. See, you heard what he said. He was out for a lot of games. Why? Because they did not have Ingram. With Ingram, Kamara is a beast. Without Ingram, and he's still a beast, but he's not the same man.
No, you're right. As far as
running all those down.
As far as fantasy is concerned, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
As far as the team.
Yeah. And see, when I heard before the season started, I heard that McCaffrey had a real good offseason as far as his workout regimen and everything, and that he was like super ready. I was hearing this, but I was like, whatever. But man, he really did his thing this year, man.
Those dudes bulked up.
Man, young white chocolate. Y'all have to call him white chocolate.
I like to. Whenever somebody of this generation do it, I always give the props to where Roger Craig and Mr. Falk. Those are the original guys to do the tweeners to get the running backs that can run and catch.
Yeah,
run and catch. Out of this week that just passed, is there any games that we should talk about, or should we jump right in? What game was a good game that 49ers Seahawks was the best game?
Yeah, pretty good. Of that dynamite game.
That was a good game.
That game, wow. That game.
Suspense. The whole entire game. That should have been a movie.
But the way the Seahawks gave the 49ers problems is the reason why I didn't put the 49ers in the Super Bowl. Seahawks is a solid team.
Right.
The 49ers should have dealt with them a little better than what they did, I feel, in my opinion.
Because they really lost the game. If the ref make the call, they lost the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not fully sold on Garoppolo yet. I mean, he's a good player.
You and
but I'm not sold on him. I got to see a little bit more.
We're going to find out in 2 weeks about it.
Yeah, we're going to find out what kind of guy he really is, man.
Garoppolo's great.
He's one of those guys where, you see a bad movie. The actor's like, dude, slick. He keep being in these weak ass movies. He's slick. Then you put him around the great actors, you don't even notice him no more. Like, dude was in that movie, wasn't he? That's Garoppolo.
Okay.
That's Garoppolo.
That's a good analogy the way you put that in there. Like
and now it's the big movie playoff time. Now we got all of the actual the usual suspects. Now we got Breeze, Brady, Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? We got Aaron. Now let's see how he. It's a starring act. He's a feature in this big movie called The Playoffs.
But I do think New England's going to regret once Mr. Brady steps down that they probably should have held on to him.
Now, I agree with that. Now, if he was there, then I think how you feel about him.
Belichick.
Because he covers up all your weaknesses.
Belichick wanted to get rid of Brady 2 years ago. He didn't want to get rid of Garoppolo. Belichick was with the business. Like,
do you think he
get him out of here?
Do you think he gonna hang it up after this year, or he gonna keep going? Brady
already said he wants to play,
but he's not gonna be there. That's over. That relationship is over with. There's an article that talks about Belichick 20 years ago. It says this 20 years ago, Belichick quit the Jets job after he was hired for one day. Why does that make headline news when it wasn't the actual date? You know how they match up dates, like January 3rd, 1975. The date is January 4th, 1991. 1990.
Okay.
But they said the article 2 days ago. The 4th is when they actually play. Shouldn't the article came out on the 4th? My point is, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it this is it.
Man, you got
why are you making a point that he left the Jets 20 years ago?
Look, I beg to differ now. It might be over for Belichick.
That's what I'm saying. That whole squad is done, man.
We're talking about Tom Brady. You
Him
said
too.
No, the owner loves Tom Brady.
Man, they got pictures on him. Ain't he come out of a freak show? What's his name? Crafty was getting a massage, a dirty massage.
Oh yeah.
Hey, hey, wait a minute. That's allegedly. That's alleged.
They got swept under the rug too.
That's alleged.
New England can do no wrong, man.
This is over. The dynasty. New England fans, I love you. This is your last weekend.
Look, man, you got teams coming from McDaniels right now. There's a bunch of coaches want to talk to him right now. If they wasn't in the playoffs, he probably, I don't know, because since Belichick won't step down, I think McDaniels, he wants to coach his own team. So if Belichick is never going to step down.
Hello, McDaniels will be in Carolina next season, sir.
Uh-oh. Y'all hear that?
McDaniels is coming to Carolina. That's one of the people know. My bad. I let the cat out the bag. I made a phone call earlier. And McDaniels is coming to Carolina, sir. That's our number one prospect right there, sir.
Did y'all hear that?
That's a possibility.
But you notice, not to kick the Redskins again, but why did they pick up a head coach so fast? They could have took time.
I think he fits, though. I think he fits. You know, Josh Daniels coached before and it didn't go well. It got to be a perfect situation for him.
Didn't he go to a team and then he quit and came back to New England? Yeah. What team was that he went to? He took the job and everything.
It was the Broncos. Remember?
Was it the Broncos? He took the job.
I thought it was Detroit. He was going to Detroit.
It was one of those teams.
And then he changed his mind at the last minute and said, no, I'm staying in New England.
Josh Daniels popular coaching candidate.
I don't know. Maybe him and Belichick might have some kind of understanding that when Belichick steps down, that he could take over the team.
I haven't heard Belichick talking about stepping down.
But here's the thing, though. They're saying.
Yeah, they're saying
that he will discuss possible candidacy on the 10th of January. Now, when is that?
Man, that's
on the 10th.
No.
They might still be in the playoffs.
Or not.
Or not.
That's my point. They ain't winning, man. I want to pick them so bad because I want to lose.
Man.
What's his name? Henry with all them teeth. He got his teeth fixed? Okay.
He said with all those teeth.
Henry. Let's go shout out to Tennessee Titans. If Henry didn't get his teeth fixed, I would have picked him. They might win the Super Bowl. Because they know that big dude coming at you like that in his teeth like that.
Man.
You ain't going to tackle that.
In the third and fourth quarter.
Close your eyes and tackle him.
Who's going to tackle that dude in the third and fourth quarter, man?
But imagine if he didn't get his teeth fixed. Let's look him up.
I'm
trying to tell you, man, I'll be scared of that man coming at me like at 250 pounds.
Yeah, he's a monster, man. He's a big dude, man.
Henry teeth. Watch this. His teeth. I wish y'all could see that out there in the audience. Look at that man. Look at that. That man will scare you, man. Got to get that man teeth fixed.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
That's what he had. I didn't even know he had that going on.
Man, they fixed them.
I guess.
Imagine he coming at you with all that.
Before we get into the games
without a mouth
coming up this week, another game we need to talk about, because it's going to be talking about the games coming into this week, is that game over there in Green Bay.
You mean next week?
No. This week. Well, it was over in Detroit. Oh. But I want to point out, just like your team, I want to point out. Well, let's do this.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 teams that have made the playoffs that you think basically they made it off of merit or off of an easy schedule, but they shouldn't be there? PB, you go first. 3.
Oh, you said 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I get the question. It look like they just backed themselves in there. Would probably Philly has to be number 1 because of the.
Yeah, because it was down to the end.
Yeah,
we had to beat the Giants and
Philly
came down to the last game.
So, that's it. everybody else is solid. Even if you look over in the AFC, Buffalo, they're 10-6, could have been 11-5. I don't know no other squad that would be.
Well, what do you think?
I mean,
even Tennessee.
The NFL is funny, man, because we look at Buffalo. We smashed Buffalo,
right?
And they
in Buffalo,
in Buffalo. So
different teams match up with other teams a certain way.
Yeah, man, football is funny like that, man. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if the Eagles went on a run and went to the Super Bowl. That wouldn't shock me at all. Probably unlikely. I'm a realist.
With the Eagles on his jacket.
I'm realistic. We doing it with
that sounded good though.
Did it? That sounded excellent.
I've seen stranger things happen in the NFL, man. So I don't know, man.
Well, me, number one team that made it that shouldn't have made it. Well, they not shouldn't have made it, but they were good enough to make it, but it's a wasted spot. Green Bay.
Ooh, y'all hear that?
Green Bay?
Green Bay, yeah.
Green
Bay doesn't have, just like you guys, not just like you guys because it's different. So I have to put you guys number 3 because I believe if you had your weapons, you guys would be a top prospect in there. So you guys are number 3. Green Bay's number 1. Number 2 is Minnesota. Minnesota. Let me. Green Bay. I put that. Green Bay has the bad man Aaron Rodgers. When I put him on a list of quarterbacks, I put him between 2 and 3 as being the best quarterback in the league. So I have no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers. I just believe that they're in Green Bay they didn't do enough to put weapons around him. Adams is not enough, and they don't call enough plays that go to Jimmy Graham, or Jimmy Graham is not. He's lost a step. Whatever's going on, he doesn't have the weapons to do what he needs to do. The difference between you guys are hurt and don't have the weapons. They have people that's supposed to be his lineup, and they're non-existent in games. Yeah. They just played the 3-11 Detroit Lions, and it looked like a Super Bowl game.
Yeah, they should have won that game. Detroit should have won that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Any given Sunday, man. I mean,
Minnesota
is weird like that, man.
Minnesota's second. Minnesota has the weapons. They have everything. Yeah. They have everything to be a Super Bowl contender, to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. There's no reason why Minnesota shouldn't be able to run the tables. But Kirk Cousins is the Achilles heel to Minnesota. And to anybody who wants to call in and talk to us, 323-293-3375. We're having a discussion about the playoffs that are now jumping off this weekend. Call in. We want to talk to you if you want to talk to us. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles is a team that I believe is better than both the teams I just mentioned. That I believe that
well, they beat one of the teams you just mentioned.
Yeah, but a healthy Philly is another Super Bowl contender. Right. But where they're at now, making the playoffs just makes it. I believe these teams will all get beat very easily this week.
Yeah, because I mean, we in the regular season we got Green Bay pretty. I mean, it came down to the end, but we still beat them.
But y'all was like 85% healthy. Yeah. You know, the problem was my man Jackson. That was really it.
Yeah, Green Bay stuck in there and got a bye. So the week they play, it's going to look like they shouldn't even been here. Yeah. It's gonna be a nasty game.
And you know, we got a lot of cheeseheads from where we from.
Yeah, we're both from Milwaukee.
I was in Vegas, bro, and when I tell you, grown men looking at me like drinking Hennessy, looking at me like you tripping. We got this. And I'm joking, and I'm seeing like he ain't laughing back. I'm like, okay.
He's trying to start a fight. What you trying to do?
Cheeseheads for real, man.
He's trying to start a real fight. You don't be talking about nobody.
But you know what? When you have a first round bye, though, it is easier to get to the Super Bowl. You basically just got to win 2 games.
That's it.
So I mean, the road is easier. So you know.
See, but the thing that he brought up about these cheeseheads, and I'm sorry if y'all listening. He brought up that perfect point. You're getting by. You're just getting by. When the playoff time comes, you're in the frozen tundra. That's why they play the game. Oh, that's out the window. You can't get by. You can't do that no more. Mm-hmm.
The real becomes the real.
Aaron Rodgers going to be on his back.
The real becomes the real. Hey, Paul, how many more minutes we got? All right, perfect. Now we can jump into the games this week. We've mentioned them. We come into them. Let's go to the first one, Buffalo at Houston. And we're going to talk about these games because, you know, I'm going to bet pretty nice on these games coming up because I believe it's going to be some easy money this week. Easy money. It's only one game did I see a possible upset? And this is this game, Buffalo and Houston.
I don't see it.
You don't see
Not
it?
even close.
Not even close?
No, the game will be there, but that's not a close upset. I don't see that as being an upset because what took place with Houston last year,
right?
And the history of Buffalo and Houston. Did you forget?
Hey, well, fill us in.
27 years ago.
Remember,
it was down 30. Remember Buffalo? This was my man. Warren Moon was a quarterback. Remember, they was down 20-something points, and they came all the way back and won and went to the Super Bowl and played Dallas.
Right.
Remember, that was the biggest
and
comeback.
Lost.
And lost. So I think Houston, that's the only playoff victory they can, playoff time that they can talk. And that's who was standing in their way. They got some history there. They're going to throw that out there. You're going to see that tomorrow when you wake up. The miracle that took place in Buffalo, now can we see that happen again, but for the different team? Houston, and a close one. Watch and learn from last year playing against Andrew Luck when they lost at home.
Okay.
They'll get this one.
Wow.
I'm not feeling no quarterback. If it's their first time.
Yeah, he's still young, man.
If it's their first, I don't feel him. Unless your coach has a pedigree with Super Bowls. So Mahomes last year, he was the first one to go against what I'm saying. First time there, he won. But look at Andy Reid. Pedigree.
But I have to put this in there. Mahomes is a he looked like he'd been there before.
Yeah.
It is true, first time, but he's from a different mode. He plays the game like he knows what he's doing.
That's even better to the point. John, you trust Allen from Buffalo?
I don't trust.
I picked Houston to win this game.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. I like Houston too.
But Buffalo, I cannot count them out.
I just like their defense.
The defense is they do have a good defense.
Yeah. And is Houston is Fuller playing?
It's a game time decision.
See, you know what, that kind of makes them one dimensional. I noticed the way they play without Fuller.
Yeah.
When it's just Hopkins. See, I had Hopkins in the fantasy football playoff, and when Fuller went out the game, they were just I think I had 9 points in fantasy or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they double covering him.
Yeah.
He can't get loose.
Cost me too
because they didn't have Fuller on the other side.
Yeah,
he gotta have Fuller. Got to be in there. For them, and Houston's running game is not impressive. It's not impressive. That's why this is the only game.
Hyde's pretty slick,
but it's not impressive.
Duke Johnson is the X factor.
They are a passing team, and they need that running game to show up when they do it.
You're right,
and I haven't seen it all season.
I just like that they're at home, and I've seen Watson pull off some miraculous.
Well, I'm taking Houston, but that's the only game that I'm like,
I think it's
I might leave out of it.
I think it's that one.
Tennessee?
I think it's that one.
New England's not going to lose to Tennessee.
If that's a game, it would be that one. You got a coach pedigree with Mike Vrabel, 3-time Super Bowl.
You think New England's going to lose twice in a row?
Man.
Just tell me.
I don't know. But that dude, that big running back.
Henry, boy, he's a monster, man.
They've been having problems stopping the run, man.
But New England's ranked pretty high, right? Are they supposed to have supposedly have one of the best defenses?
But they're still number one. They're still number one,
right?
But lately they've been struggling with the run defense.
They've been struggling a little bit.
They've been struggling with the run.
Yeah. So
if there's an upset, I would pick Tennessee, and I might.
Yeah.
New England's on an eight straight playoff game. Oh, that's what I'm gonna bring up. You know, let's bring up history. They 8-0, right? Okay. From this decade, from 2010, haven't lost any home games.
Okay.
The last home game they lost was to start the millennium. Was 2009, 2010. Just like we got 2019, 2020.
Right.
It was at home. It was a wild card game against Baltimore. They got smashed. So do they start this millennium the same way they started that one?
History repeats itself sometimes.
It repeats itself. I think they might lose this one, Pat. They get that boy the ball, man. They do get like 30 carries. It's a long night, Tom Brady.
I mean, that all sounds nice, fine, and dandy. Belichick is not losing 2 games in a row, especially when starting the playoffs. Has it ever happened with New England?
I don't know.
But they ain't about to start now.
But their offense just don't look right, man. They
don't why it doesn't look right?
They don't have no Gronk. The only person they really got is Edelman.
And they say he's 50-50 for the game.
Man, they throwing the ball to linebackers and kickers and all kinds of stuff. Man.
I thought that Gronk was coming back for the playoffs because that was the big secret.
Right.
I thought he would be back. I thought he was coming back maybe 2 weeks before the playoffs started.
Get ready.
And he made an announcement. His girl made an announcement. No, he's not coming back. And I was like, wow. For New Year's, him and Tom Brady was hanging out. You saw Gronk had his uniform on.
See all that.
His girl said, "Hey, it's some powerful stuff."
Oh, they was hanging out.
Well, from the pictures I saw,
Tom Brady was there.
Tom Brady was there, or he tweeted saying he loves Gronk's outfit.
Oh, it's a wrap. See, Tom noticed they don't remember they kind of military type. Yeah. We don't focus on those things. We're just ready for the game, man. That's when they play, just ready for the game. You should have told me that. No, man, he's tweeting on New Year's Eve. Tom's supposed to be the unthinkable.
Yeah, it's coming to an end, man. Pretty soon, man. I don't know how much longer he's going to play. Was he 40, 41, 42? Mm-hmm. I said 41. 42. Playing quarterback.
Been watching you, Tom.
Okay. We're not making any picks. We're just talking about the games. We're moving to the next one. Minnesota at New Orleans.
Yeah, I got Minnesota all day, man. I mean,
whoa, I'm about to say.
My bad. I got New Orleans all day in that one, man.
I'm looking at another 42-10 game.
That's sound about right.
42.
Yeah. That's
Thomas Ackful.
He had got the record for them, Thomas. Did he did he in that broke record he started. Then he had a touchdown.
I can get to you right now. My team, you want to go, okay, we go ahead. Cat back right. We shall get
always next year.
Comments. Passing. This man. Yeah, four receptions, 37 receiving yards. What are you talking about?
That's it. 149. So he distanced by 6?
Oh, you talking about his? Okay.
Yeah, he broke the record for most catches in a season.
Yeah.
And that record, I forgot who had it before, but that
Harrison.
record, that record still for a while, man.
For a minute, yeah, him and Peyton Manning.
And this man ain't been in the league that long to have caught this record like that.
And I expect him.
And you think they're gonna get rid of Breeze after this season?
I think
if they win the Super Bowl, I mean, what else is there to play for?
You don't think Bridgewater is going to another team? You think he's gonna stay there?
No. I like Bridgewater at the Bears.
So if Bridgewater's going to the Bears, how you think that Breeze is going too? This team still has to go on. You can't say they're going to the Bears and Breeze is going someplace.
If you ask me my opinion, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he keeps playing. He break all these records and.
Okay, but if he break out, he don't keep playing, then that means Teddy Bridgewater is staying in New Orleans.
Just to be if he let's say he comes back, I don't think they win it again. That this team is built for right now.
Yeah.
Because the defense is shady. You already know the division you in gonna come back stronger too.
Stronger.
Yeah, I mean you got two other teams that I know for sure are gonna be. But one team that's, in my opinion, gonna win that division.
Hey, thank you, PB.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well,
like that. Are you watching Tampa play? Have you seen Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles? Man. That's the team to watch out for.
Jameis Winston he's something else, man.
In fantasy, he's unbelievable.
But they're gonna be able to get that down, bro. Tampa Bay.
I think he made a record too, wasn't he?
Yep.
He threw like 30, right? 30 picks and 30. Who does that, man?
Hey. Hey.
But he had like 4,800 yards though.
He a gunslinger for real. Like Brett Favre.
I see 30 again and 15 less interceptions. And a 10-6, 11-5 record. That team's gonna be man. They got a pedigree. I look at pedigrees. I don't just look at players. You got Bowles, Super Bowl experience on the staff, and he's been in one. Then you got Aaron, same thing, man. These pedigrees. Mike Holmgren pedigree, man.
Okay. We're moving to Seattle at Philly. Hey, this should be a personal one for you, sir.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. The first game, the weather was involved. They smacked us. They got us pretty good. But I mean, it was a lot of fumbling.
The first game, you had your weapons too, didn't you?
We had a few. We still had injuries though. We had injuries all.
Yeah, but you had people. This game, you're not going to have people.
But you know,
y'all was the healthiest you could have been.
Yeah,
at that time.
Yeah,
they got some injuries too though. One of their best, I think, tackles or something like that is out.
Yeah, he's gone.
Tackle.
But they
still got their wide receivers, Pete. Man,
I thought what's his name was out too. Lockett might not be playing.
No, they got Quadri Diggs back.
That was
right.
That was wishful thinking.
They got the DB back. They got their best DB back.
I think they're gonna stuff Beast Mode. His days are behind him. I think they're gonna stuff him like a
He
peanut
looked pretty
pocket.
good for being out for 18 months, man. That was pretty good.
Yeah, but
Beast Mode is there for goal line production.
There you
for
go.
for 3 yards. That's all they need one Beast Mode for. Give us some 3 yards.
But was you impressed with him being gone that long away from the game?
And to look the way he still looked, yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised he looked the way he did.
Beast mode.
It's gonna be a good game, man.
Did you see him?
It's fun.
Him right? Yeah.
Interest. I'm a sad, but his style still right.
Yeah, I believe.
That's what they had. They don't have enough.
I think the defense working. Defense, they often get the defense working. But you know what? A lot of teams come to Philly this time of year. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be windy. It's not gonna be. A lot of players don't always get up for them type of games, man.
And I looked at the temperature. It's 41. It starts off at 41, so that's not bad. Then after halftime, it's 30 degrees. So
I think the elements is going to play a big part in the game, and I think whichever quarterback makes the most mistakes, the team is going to win.
I think we see the same, bro. I'm serious. I think we see the same outcome, just a little bit more points. Same type of game. Man.
Yeah, I admit, because I know that the chances that, like when Dallas played us, when they came to our house, a lot of that them beating us was Dak's fault. Because he had a few wide open receivers, but he just missed them.
Overthrowing them, telling them at their feet.
Now we might not be able to get away with that against Seattle.
I'm glad you admitted it.
He's probably going to hit those guys if they get wide open.
I'm glad you admitted it, because there's no way Dallas should have lost to you guys. You have to, when you go play teams, you got to hope that they make mistakes, or you got to hope that the elements. We're talking about the players.
But you know what, man? It's not always. It's not always about talent, man. Because look, Dallas supposedly had the most talented team in the NFL,
right.
But you got to have coaching. They have no coaching, no direction. Yeah. They don't want to run through a wall for their coach. Our players, they'll run through a wall for Doug Peterson, man. I don't know why. That's just the way it is. No, they believe in him.
No, I like watching Philly. I'm an old school guy. I'm not into 70 points and say I don't trip off that. I'm into you grind it out. I'm into the toughness. Philly always shows that. Back in the day with Reggie White there, you know what I'm saying? In the late 80s, they always showed that this is going to be that game that they played last month was still a tough game. It was 17-9. That still was a tough game with them in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's the weapons. They just don't got enough, man.
Yeah. And, you know, we were trying to get Deshaun Jackson back this week, but the rules say that when you're on IR, you have to miss 8 games. Or he would have been playing this week. We could have really used him. But if we so happen to get past this Seattle, then he'll be back next week, which will help Carson Wentz a lot, because you saw what he was doing against Redskins in game 1. He was throwing the ball deep to Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. He had a big game.
What's going on with Aguilar and Alshon Jeffrey?
They've been, I haven't heard anything about Alshon. He's been hurt. And Nelson, I've been seeing that he's been limited in practice, and we got so many guys, man. It's like that blue tent, man. All you see is blue guys, guys going into blue tent just all game.
And they say with Zach, that's not.
And they say he might play, man.
But they say medically that wouldn't be fair or safe because it's kidney.
Yeah, he got
it's not just the rib.
They say he got a lacerated kidney and a broken rib.
No, don't play, man.
So I don't think he might play.
Football's not worth your whole life. Right. Now, with all that being said, we're gonna go through our picks because it's time to bring the show to a close. Buffalo at Houston, PB first.
Houston.
I got Houston.
Oh, so we're unanimous. We're all taking Houston.
Yep.
Tennessee at New England, PB.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, man. Take big teeth, taking teeth. Henry, man, I'm going out on a limb, man.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna go with New England at home, man.
New England here in the home, right? New England, and we got one teeth.
Teethus, huh?
Now let's move to Minnesota at New Orleans.
Blowout.
Unanimous.
Yeah, New Orleans all day, man.
Everybody's picking Nuo. And last but not least, Seattle at Philly.
Tough game. Philly give it all. They get a standing ovation. You know what I mean? And then Seattle pull away.
I like the way you gave them a standing ovation.
Yeah, because they look at injuries, and they came this far.
Yeah.
3 or 4 points.
I say Eagles 21-17.
Ooh, Eagles 21-17. And PB, you said Seattle
24-20.
24-20. I'm saying Seattle at Philly. I will say 28.
Real?
Yeah, 28 to. I'll give them 13. 28 to 13.
No, they haven't beaten anybody by 7 points the whole season.
Wow, man.
20.
We just put up like 30 something against with our backups.
Against, but this is Seattle,
New York.
This is Seattle. I'm saying 28 to 13.
13 points.
28-13. And
41 points.
what Philly has going for them in this game is that a good old football saying, any given Sunday.
And that's why they play the
games. That's right.
Hey, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Blow the Whistle. Please like, subscribe, and share. To all you my fantasy football winners, your money's coming. Look for me. I'll be in Ensenada for a couple weeks, but your money's coming. Did anybody catch that? Yeah. We'll see y'all next Thursday.
Yeah, I heard it.
Flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on, flame on. It's about that time of day, let all the warriors come out and play. You tuned in to PB Smiley and Wayne Holloway. And me, my name's Santos, the Human Torch. And it's the hottest show around, it's called Blow the Whistle Sports. And today's the day, we talking sports and we came to play. Got no filter, we say what they all afraid to say. As last time we checked, football was a man's sport. So we don't let nothing fly like you ain't got a passport.